can lose a lot of faith in people if you watch the news all day. People are horrible, aren't they? You know, most people teach the kids that the world's a big bad place full of horrible people. But if you get on your bike and ride across a country, you meet countless nice people who are willing to do so many nice things for you. When you come up against your limits, you realise how far you can push those limits.
It's lovely to be back, actually. It was a long wait, wasn't it?
It's a funny thing because people always question what they're capable of. So you tell people about this kind of thing or about this style of riding, and most people you talk to will say things like, I could never do that, which is not true at all. We all started somewhere, and it was only when you came to have a go at doing something like this that you realise how capable you actually are. It's just about pushing those limits to find out how far you can push them. The Pan Celtic Race 2021 was a ultra endurance self-supported bicycle race that started at Maker Heights in Cornwall. It travelled 1,240 miles through Celtic lands and finished in North Wales at the Clan Chief's house in Llandudno.
Alistair. Alistair.
Forbes.
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 Forbes, that's the one, yeah.
Forbes.
Yeah.
F-O-R-B-E-S.
Yes, that's the one.
Marley had this really cool sentence where like when he was asked what made him come up with the Pan Celtic Race, that, you know, it was like when you were a kid and you used to go out riding your bike and every bike ride was an adventure.
Let me see this. A massage every night. Come and see me. I'll do it myself.
As you grow up, you forget about that adventurous side to riding your bike, and it becomes a means to an end sometimes for some people. But it doesn't always have to be like that. Just to take you back to those childhood days of adventure and enjoying riding your bike. The roads, the routes, the hills, the smells. That's what the race is. It's a way of taking people back to a time where you were a lot more carefree, and the only things you had to worry about was getting to a place on your bike, pushing your pedals, eating, drinking, and sleeping.
Right, I just want to wish you all a safe journey. Okay, this rain is only temporary, but the memories will be forever. All right? Arise, arise, riders of the Pan Celtic clan. Spears shall be shaken, shields shall be splintered. A sword day, a red day, as the sun rises. Right now, right now, right now, let's go! Come on!
Riders arrived at Maker Heights in Cornwall, ready to start the race, and were greeted with biblical rain that lasted for hours upon hours, which then flooded people's kit, it waterlogged phones, and generally made for a pretty rubbish start to the race. The Cornish roads that were narrow and unrelentingly steep, short, sharp climbs that would really zap the legs. It's just one after another, climb after climb.
Yeah, the route's brutal. Right. Not a single piece of flat in it, the whole thing. It's just sapping.
You are motoring?
But I've done 260 watts normalised, and I've done 24k an hour. That's just like, normally out on the road, that'd be like 35k an hour.
I tell you what, you look like you're buzzing.
I'm having so much fun. Why would you do it if you don't enjoy it?
Yeah, but there's two different sides where you'll get people who love it, but they love it afterwards.
Yeah.
And when they're going through it, they're kind of like, oh my God, it's so hard.
But
But
I'm
to
just
see
having
you,
so
you're like,
much fun at the moment. I'm sure, like in a few hours, I'll be in in a hole. But well, hopefully not. Because I've been riding with them myself. So.
So what's your plan? Where are you headed tonight? Today?
Don't know. Just keep riding.
You're just going to keep riding until you...
Yeah. Thing is, like, normally I try and ride through the night, but like I've come into the race so tired already. Like, I was dozing off during the week.
Yeah.
At work. So I don't know. I might need to like get a couple of hours tonight, but it doesn't really matter.
No.
And then if I've got energy towards the end, that's when I can do an all-night or something.
Yeah. Angus Young had already made his way to the front of the race and was putting time into his nearest rivals, Chris Pitblado and Alex Boswell. Alex, Paul, Chris and Will came into Land's End fighting for second place before disappearing into the night.
Go on, man.
How many people have been through? Is it just Angus?
Mm-hmm.
Probably like 2 hours ago or something.
But
What's his game plan? Is he doing a
I
lap
think
with
his game
Morton?
plan is to ride extremely fast by the looks of things.
He's gonna burn out, isn't he? I mean, he's a nutter.
People.
All right, pal.
How then? How's it going?
How are you?
All right. I had
What
no
did you
plan
not
really.
plan?
I'm just cycling at my speed, you know.
Yeah.
And then when I get tired, I'll.
Good plan.
I've never raced before, you know. Like I've never ridden an event with a race at the end, you know. It's always been long Audax, and I've done loads of that kind of thing. So I sort of know how to manage myself. And I've not looked at the thing. All the updates that I've had is basically from you guys. I've been, you know, I've not been wanting to look.
Oh, mate, what a flipping route.
You like it?
Oh, that's epic.
Yes,
Yeah.
mate, it gets better.
Mate,
It gets better.
it was just honestly, the tunes were buzzing, just like, it's just so good. Bit of moss on the hill, yeah, wheel slide, yeah, love it.
That's the
Dancing in the moonlight, yeah.
Are you going to stop here, are you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm hoping there's some toilets up there or something. I originally thought I would try and get to Wade Bridge. It's 200 mile, but
How many miles are you on the clock now?
162.
162. It's not a bad day though, is it? First day?
It's fucking grippy.
Yeah, I fucking know.
It's so grippy. It really is.
We was just watching your Instagram stories then.
I'm not sure that this route is hilly enough. Let's have some more hills.
Right, I will.
It's really good to see you.
later. Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah, ride safe, dude.
Will do. Dancing in the moonlight, everybody.
This rain jacket I've stuffed at the back of my jersey, and my bottom of the back started to go numb, and I thought it was down the bottom, and I was like, oh shit, we have to turn around. So I had to turn back round and go up a hill that just come back down. Got to the top, so I can't see it. It was only in the back of my jersey, wasn't it? Still, it was just higher up. I was like, oh, you fuck off.
You need to have a word with yourself, mate.
I'm not used to
Getting a bit scatty. How old are
I'm
you?
getting too old.
Getting a bit scatty, mate.
My wife keeps telling me to stop cycling like these sort of events. Yeah, I'm hoping there's some toilets up there. Fuck's sake. They must have different. That's not working.
She be dim dim do de da do. She be dim dim do de da do. shi 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 be dim dim do de da do.
Morning, Bryn.
Morning. How's it going, alright?
Yeah, good. How you doing?
Been better.
Yeah?
Lovely morning though.
How you doing, mate? Getting up in the morning? Where did you sleep?
In a bus stop.
Nice.
About 2 hours back from here. The sunrise this morning was amazing. Like, just coming just into St Ives, and it was, yeah, really, really beautiful. I'm gonna go get McDonald's. There's a Shell garage that's open as well, because nothing opens until 7.
Right.
And every place I've been like, oh, it must be 7 by now, and it's still 6:30, so it's not.
Morning.
Oh, good morning!
How you doing?
I'm from a beautiful place! Morning!
Morning.
I've never been here before, it's lovely!
Bit different to Scotland.
Oh, it's so different, yeah! I mean, no, it's good, obviously. Oh my god, I thought I had this beautiful field to sleep in, and I went and carried my bike over the fence. It's really flat grass. I spent about 5 minutes getting over the stuff and you look down, snails everywhere. I was all set up and ready and I was like, how grim is this? Like, can I just deal with it? And I thought about it for a minute and they were literally like slugging their way all around, like all over my kit. And I just did images of like them being all over my face when I woke up in the morning. One of the other riders had camped just down the road and I pulled in beside him and he was sitting outside the bus shelter and he was like, that bus shelter is really grim, you don't want to go in there. And I went in and I was like, it's not that bad, like you don't have to breathe through your nose, it's fine.
Checkpoints are an important part of the race in that they provide a safe haven for riders and provide them with the chance to recharge their batteries both mentally and physically before moving on again. Having ridden through the night, Mike Sheldrick's experience shines through as he arrives at CP1 in 4th place. He tells us stories of his adventures through the night, when some people his age will be falling asleep in a chair.
My plan that I set off at the start with was just to get to Land's End and Kip there, but I got there and didn't feel ready for Kip, so I carried on. Nice. I feel fine for it actually,
Yeah.
Not struggling. So I'll probably, I think in a couple of nights, 2 nights time, I'll have a really good
sleep in 2 nights time.
Although I got this morning.
It's a different mentality, that is.
Switched my phone on this morning and got a message saying my daughter has given birth to my first grandchild.
Oh, congratulations! Oh, that's
so
nice.
I've got to see what I've got. See where priorities lie now. It's all a bit. We'll see. It's a handy excuse though. If I'm really struggling a bit halfway around, I'll just go. I think I've got to go home. I'm a granddad.
We caught up with Chris just as he arrived into Bridgewater. He was suffering with some navigational issues, but he was making great progress over the rest of the following pack.
Is
that why you were looking at your phone back there?
I'm only getting about 150 kilometres on the Garmin. And I have to do the rest on my phone.
I'll tell you what, considering you're having an issue, you're doing pretty well.
Well, I didn't. I thought there was 5 guys up the road, but
no.
When I got to Boscastle, Pete didn't say.
But you heard.
Because he's a professional.
God, it's be all right. Where are you headed today? What's your plan?
I'll get to Stonehenge first, and then I'll see.
You going to Stonehenge tonight?
Yeah, and then I didn't get much sleep last night. Got like a power nap, which is fine because I'm starting to.
When you say power nap, what do you call a power nap?
30 minutes.
Are you still going now?
Quite coffee.
Midget James.
Midget James, nice. With the weather forecast for heavy rainstorms coming in during the night, Chris didn't make it to Stonehenge and bedded down halfway between Glastonbury and Stonehenge. The rest of the field also took the opportunity to bed down for the night. Angus, incredibly, decided to push on.
I'm not having a blast. I've settled into that kind of rhythm where it's just like everything just goes a bit numb and your legs are turning but you can't really feel them and like you've got no control of how much power you're putting out. It's pretty slow going in these. I have no idea where I am. It's just like a complete maze of lanes. You just follow a line. I do a lot of just like maths in my head.
Really?
Yeah, mental maths. Just like working out, if I carry on at this pace, what time will I get to this point? That sort of thing. Just keep me occupied, really. Or like, I'm at 21k an hour average so far. If that drops to 20.8k an hour, how much later am I going to be at the finish? Just like completely like pointless stuff. But it just keeps things ticking over.
Angus uses his local knowledge and heads for a cave at Cheddar Gorge, where, for the first time since the race's start, he beds down for a few hours. By the time we caught up with Chris at Stonehenge, who was holding second place, Angus was 105 miles ahead. Thanks to Chris's long sleep, Paul, Alex and Stuart Percival all managed to put good time into him. In Bristol, we caught up with a few riders who were taking the opportunity to make use of the big city. Cities provide the opportunity for riders to really start thinking about their next move, with things like public transport allowing them easy access to head home and scratch from the race.
My next one went about 50k in this morning. It's been a right struggle. On the steep stuff it's sort of sinking in a bit, so yeah, I'm trying to work out what to do. Still got a fair way to go, and by the sounds of it, I don't know if it's something that's easily solved.
It can be like a really scary thing leaving the city when you've got so much normality there and you can eat and drink and sleep, and then you have to head off back out on your own into the quiet roads. Back with your thoughts, dread, fear, loneliness.
How's the weather been?
Last night was grim. Again, I got absolute drenched.
Did you?
Yep. So I've got Wet bibs on to start the day.
Nothing like a good cold wet bit to start the day.
Bags getting bigger.
I've seen your video on Instagram.
I went to bed and it was chucking it down. 4 hours later I woke up, it was still chucking it down. Come on, cut me some slack. I just want to get up and get dry.
The final flinty bit on the front one, then about half a mile, maybe more than that, maybe like 2k down the road, and the back one went as well. So that's both my inner tubes gone, and then yeah, just before getting to Severn Bridge, really rough bit. You go over a little bridge and it's super rough. I was absolutely hammering it to get back on, to get back up to try and get back up to third.
Right. Is that what you're looking for now, third?
Well, that's where I was.
Yeah, right.
I almost caught Chris yesterday morning, just before the gravel bit.
Yeah, you were hot on Chris's tail yesterday.
But yeah, obviously punctures, and then when again I had to do a patch.
Yeah.
I've still not got any other tubes. It's all right. I'm gonna go late for the next couple of days. I've got the bivvy. I've not used it yet.
Oh, nice. Weather is
Weather's getting better.
I keep telling people it's getting better.
Right, I'm gonna crack on then.
Go and enjoy that descent, mate.
Yeah, go get him. I will. It's gonna lift my spirits after yesterday defeated me. I reckon I'm about 6 hours behind where I'd want to be.
Okay.
To plan. So, yeah, because I wanted to do 400k yesterday, and I did just under 3.
Still got plenty of time.
So I wanted to be in Swansea.
Yeah. Get him, man.
Despite the troubles he'd faced, Alex Boswell pushes on through the day, overtaking at least 4 other riders that are ahead of him.
Well, I've just checked into my hotel for the evening. It's a bit basic, but I'll give you a quick tour. This is the door. You can lock it. This is the loo. Oh, that's the sink. Don't know what that is, but I also get a bin.
Let's go alongside him.
Tiger is the bill of the fate.
There's a sticky bottle with you.
Jump on.
Punctures is my nightmare today, but I'm in good shape.
You're looking.
I'm going to go long, and I'll just get there.
Fucking right you are, Ferg. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the
I think that the race itself, if I was going to say that it was a person, it'd have to be Mally.
This is the race within the race.
Matt Ryan, for those that don't know. Matt Mally Ryan, the race director and the man who thought this thing up.
Slack roulette.
Before you go,
Had to be
what are you?
because it was just full of water.
Come on. I told you at the top of Bulk of Cloud. What are you? No.
A warrior?
No, you're all of that, but what else?
I forgot, what was it?
Come on, what are you? You've won an ad. Come on, what are you? Tell me. Come on. What are you? Think about it. Get fired up. Come on. Come on, think about it. Right. I'll tell you what you are. You're a dot munching Pac-Man, aren't you?
Yeah.
What are you?
Dot munching Pac-Man.
And what are you going to do with those dots? You're going to munch them all out. You're going to go mat all along, okay?
Can't, I've got a fucking dead arm.
I think when he sums it up, you know, he wants the race. He wants to take people back to that time when they were kids and they could just ride bikes all day. without any other care in the world. I think that says a lot about his character. You get caught up in life sometimes, and having something where you can switch off and forget about all your troubles, or even, they don't even have to be troubles that you want to forget about, but just mundane life. You just want to switch off from it all and get out on the road and have an adventure.
We don't test our resilience a lot in life because everything's comfortable. You can go to a shop, buy whatever you want. You don't even have to have any money. You can buy a car, you can, everything like that. So we never really test our resilience. So I think it's been personal. It's good for me to do that. The Welsh people have been fantastic, so accommodating, and have had some real good stories and adventures.
The route, like, I've never ridden any of this that I've been on, so I don't know Wales at all. Every time I'm on, like, off the main road, I'm just like, how did they find this? It's so cool. And this morning, so I came over from that dog leg, the red dog leg, and then the first couple of hours were difficult. My phone ran out of battery, so I've got no music to block out my own thoughts, and I was just like, everyone's ahead of me, and like that, and I was just giving myself such a hard time. And then I looked up, and there was just like sheep balancing on, like, stupid cliff edges, just like meh, like, and little, like, just animals doing stuff, and it was just so sweet. And then just like looking up, and this road just rolling in front of me across the hilltops, and I was like, who cares who's in front of you?
I was really struggling, just like energy-wise, and I was coming up to Cheddar Gorge, and then this bloke came out, dot watching, and he had his bell, and he started doing his bell and shouting my name out. I just started crying, just like cycling for no reason. I just started crying because I was like, I'd been suffering for ages, and it just like perked me up, and then I was just like off flying down Cheddar Gorge. It's just an unbelievable experience how it sort of gets you. Been raining, every sort of weather condition like going, and you start thinking about home and everything like that, and then you remember why you do it, but it just pops out of nowhere. It's just like, I just felt like stopping at that point and just ringing his bell, and that was it. It just like spurred me on. It was just incredible. It's just so nice, really. And then you get up and it's beautiful like this. It's been raining, and then you come up there. This lovely climb. But yeah, I don't know how 2 ibuprofen are supposed to go between my backside, my hip, my knee. I don't know, it's a bit diluted there. But yeah,
fantastic.
What a journey, really.
Meanwhile, on this year's short route, we caught up with Jack Breen at CP2, who'd pulled out a huge lead over second place Michael Rollerson. It's Jack Breen?
Yeah, Jack Breen, yeah. God, Angus Young, this guy, what is he on? This guy.
Did you not know he'd come through it?
Yeah, no, I did.
Oh, you did?
I just, I saw that he did that loop, and then I was like in Wookie Hole and he was in Cheddar Gorge, so I was like, I'll catch him up. And
We caught up with Angus Young as he headed off into mid-Wales with a sizable lead of approximately 85 miles.
How you doing, man? I'm having a blast. Still enjoying it, yeah? Yeah. Picked up today. I was really quite slow yesterday. I was just stopping a lot. Don't know why I was. And then accidentally slept through my alarm. So I stayed at a hotel, put an alarm on for like 2 hours, and then like 5 hours later I woke up and was like, oh, fuck it. Oh well. I think I feel better. Yeah, I think it's probably done me well. Yeah. Chris isn't too far behind, is he? He's probably like 3-4 hours back or something. Yeah. He did quite well last time. Yeah, when I was asleep. Yeah, because I saw there was like a pack of like 2 or 3 of them. I've just got it in the back of my head now that I've had a massive sleep, so I'm great. And he hasn't. So he probably only got a couple of hours in the bush somewhere. So, right, I might press on.
Yeah. Thanks for talking to me.
That's all right. Right, cheers, Dan. Have a good one.
Take it easy.
Yeah, and you.
1,100 miles into the race, and we catch up with Chris and Paul, who are never more than 3 miles apart. It's clear that Chris's capabilities in the hills compared with Paul's capabilities on the flats means that they can't put any distance into one another and are constantly vying for second place.
I'd settled for third yesterday.
Yeah.
I was racing to stay in third.
Yeah.
I got a bit of a surprise this morning when Chris had stopped early. I'm trying not to look too often. It's quite strange, trying to manage everything else at the same time. So 4 nights of very little sleep
just reminded me.
is the main 90% of managing things, and then every now and again I get a spur on. I enjoy the racing aspect of it, and then I have to manage everything else for a while.
So what did you do last night? Did you stop for a while?
I totally hit the wall.
Oh, did you?
Just pretty much at 9 o'clock, just the wheels fell off.
Oh, right.
So I just called it early and just kind of got to sleep. Just found a field somewhere. And then I didn't have food for like a 9-hour ride because everywhere was closed. No, it's been quite good the last couple of days because we're kind of doing that all the time.
Yeah.
Then he must have passed me through the night. I woke up in the morning, he was like 50 miles ahead. I was like, oh no!
Got here 4,200 metres or something in 212k. It's just insane, right? Let me get this in Essex.
Yeah, I think yesterday I completely finished my legs.
It was quite climby yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm just hoping the motivation to get to Anglesey will get me through. And that feeling of like, because I'm going so slow, the legs are tired, I keep thinking, oh my gosh, my back wheel's deflated.
Yeah, it's that. Like,
I'm like, I keep looking at my back, I'm like, is there no air in there? I'm not moving.
Because you're nearly there.
Yeah.
You're nearly there, and it's so cruel.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, thanks. Yeah, it's like this. I can barely unclip. Yeah, this ankle just doesn't have any functionality. I've not done my shoes off at all because every time I put any pressure on it, it just buckles.
Really?
But I can feel my quad, which is fine because that's what I need to pedal. But like this whole down here, up to like here is numb.
What do you think is causing that?
This started hurting just up here, and then my Achilles at the same time. So I think between them there's just a lot of pressure. Yesterday I put my foot down and went into a pothole and fell over, and I was just because I was planning on riding through the night, and then after that.
You're still going though?
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
Thanks.
Like, you see somebody saying that they've been up all night, but then you're smiling and laughing when you're telling the story.
Yeah.
There's not many people that do that, is there?
Thank you.
It all goes into a blur, doesn't it? But I had a bad patch quite early on. I started off quite well, first couple of days or first day, and night were okay. So where are we? Tuesday. I first of all I stayed overnight in a room in Glastonbury, and I left the room at about 4:45 in the morning. Everything out, clicked the door shut, and as the proprietor had instructed, I left a swipe card in the room, and then I realised I'd left my shoes hooked on the towel radiator to dry them out. So I hadn't got my shoes. So I had to wait 3 hours before anybody came that morning, just sitting there outside my room. So that was a bit soul destroying, especially as out the window I could actually see other riders going past, you know. And then later on that day, middle of the afternoon, I started being sick, throwing up, and I sat on a bench, and then I fell asleep, and then I got in my sleeping bag, and I didn't get up. out my bag until probably about 7:30 the next morning. I don't know what it was. I just emptied myself overnight, and I felt for 2 days I just had a horrible taste in my mouth. Just didn't feel good. I was hardly eating anything. I don't know how I was moving, because I couldn't face food. And I was going into shops and looking at food, and I just looking at chocolate bars. I love it, you know. And I really only got my appetite back yesterday, you know. Finally got it going. But throughout, my legs have been okay, you know. The legs have always been there. It's just stomach, really.
How's your granddaughter?
Oh, good, yeah. Actually, I actually FaceTimed her yesterday from a petrol station forecourt. It was a bit difficult, but don't think she could make out what I was saying, but she probably doesn't understand anyway. She's only about 3 days old.
Oh, so it's still nice though.
So it didn't matter. But yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, you're making me go emotional now.
Oh, mate, that's brilliant.
So as soon as I get home, my daughter, they're up in Sheffield, I'm in Leicester, but I'll find a way of getting up and giving her a proper hug. That stupid strapline they've got about we who travel have stories to tell. If you just turned up at the finish and said, oh, everything was fine, it's been a really steady ride, that wouldn't work, would it?
It really sort of strips everything back, and it takes away all the commodity and easiness that life gives you, and makes you test your resilience on a daily basis with what it is that you can and can't do, or what challenges you can and can't overcome. And it just takes you out of your comfort zone and makes you ask questions that you might not want to answer.
I won't be the first to have walked up here, I don't think. I actually got down to the metal barrier down there and then looked up and thought, it's 940 miles in and I think I've got every right. It's 8:15 in the morning. Most people are in bed, aren't they? So fuck them.
That coaster road was amazing. That one? Yeah. Loved it.
On Friday the 9th at 14 minutes past 2 in the afternoon, 25-year-old Angus Young rolls over the finish line in Llandudno and takes the win of the Pan Celtic Race 2021.
I was so much fun the whole time.
Every time we seen you, that's all you kept
saying. I was just buzzing.
Yeah.
The whole time I was just like, this is amazing. There are a couple of moments when you're just riding along and you just think this is epic. Like sunset every night, I was in a good spot. So first night, Land's End. Next night, Stonehenge. After that, I might have missed up. Nothing that exciting. I can't remember what happened. Yeah. And then it was the Raider Mountain Road. And last night it was right over the tip of the peninsula. Well, I have no idea what time of day it is.
All day.
Oh yeah, all day.
Are you involved in a proper race here?
There was kind of a gentleman's agreement this morning.
What was the gentleman's agreement?
Till we found breakfast.
Ah, nice.
His legs were kind of pretty done in this morning, but I think he's starting to work into it, so
right.
you might pick up.
At this point in the race, exhaustion sets in. Both riders push each other to the extreme. Chris takes a wrong turn while Paul has a 15-minute nap, and inevitably they come together once again.
testing each other for about 40 miles, 50 miles after that. You know, he'd stretch me out on the climbs and I'd just reel him in. Then it wasn't hard and he'd dance away on the hills easily, and then I'd reel him in quite easily. And then we just had a chat and we're like, we're never more than 2 or 3 minutes away from each other. And it's like painful, you know, like there was half an hour difference. You'd work at it, wouldn't you? Or you'd try and work at staying away. But when you're just seeing each other's flashing light all the time, we just had a chat and we're like, I think we're going to be better for each other's company, aren't we? We're going to bury ourselves for no gain.
Yeah.
We might have finished an hour ago, but would have been in a mess and not enjoyed each other's company for the day. So we've had a good day.
Should we get some beers?
Yeah.
Yay, that we're talking.
We're just doing that all the time. So it's like, if we smash it, we're going to end up here together. And if we just go down...
You end up here together, but just more tired.
Exactly.
Can I have a kiss?
Awesome, right.
Oh. Are you alright?
Yeah. Well, apart from angles.
I like your
mate,
banners.
say that?
Yeah, thank you. Press my garment.
You meet people when you're especially when you're organising this race, and the people that come and sign up and then race the race. You are almost friends before you've met, because you relate to one another on so many levels that we're all the same. We all love riding our bikes to get places, to experience new things, to experience new places and people. You know, people talk about the people that they meet out on the course who are so kind. It really gives you a sense of how nice people are in general. Talking to riders, you can see that it certainly reaffirms life for a lot of people.
Everything that went wrong could go wrong. You want to see my bike? Proven conclusively that doing it on a TT bike is not the formula. What's the name of that bike company that sponsors the Enigma? There's no puzzles there, I tell you. They are the right thing, the right bike.
Believe it or not, but this is her favourite place. After every bike ride I get a good clean, don't I, Audrey?
Did you make up the places that you wanted to?
Not quite, but I'm just stoked. It's just cool. It's kind of the thing that I never thought I'd do, and I've done it.
You'll love this. Travelodge setup. Travelodge was fully booked. So I went and tried to sleep on a bench from a foil blanket. That was no good. So I just laid on the grass, wrapped myself up in this foil blanket, thought, this is really comfy. Then I woke up and there was 2 policemen there. And they're like, we've got reports of someone sleeping by the road wrapped in tin foil. I wish I'd been quick enough to think, like, I've not seen him.
My pedal fell off today. It fell off, it was attached to my foot. I was like, this is it. I'm going to have to scratch. And I'm in Anglesey. Last seen my headphones wrapped around my pedals 4 days ago. And I was like, exactly. So I've got a bit of a sore shoulder and my pedal. I listened to my podcast. That was alright.